Breaking news into rivals.com and, of course, the world of college football recruiting, as you can read below. Luke Metz, blue chip linebacker from the state of Georgia. He's going to go ahead to the neighboring state to play his college football at the University of Alabama. Luke, first of all, congratulations. How did all this go down?
Yes, sir. It was a great process. I visited Wednesday and Thursday. We were supposed to have dinner with Coach Womack and at Wednesday night. And we just got there a little early and driving around campus. And, I just felt the vibes felt great. And then that dinner I had with Coach Womack that night really solidified it. So I kind of knew then.
So you still had visits to take, a bunch of schools involved. You've been on the road plenty, right? You were at Oklahoma,
Sure.
LSU, up to Michigan, Bama, Ole Miss just the other day. Even though you've been on so many campuses, how was Alabama's different? Like, what stood out separately about the Crimson Tide, especially under Kalen DeBoer? Because obviously, you grew up a Bama fan, but that was Nick Saban's Alabama. So what was different this time around, and specifically when you were on campus last week?
Yes, sir. Definitely. Just the winning culture there. Everything they do is elite. I kind of liked it a little better than the old staff because it's a little more loose. They still coach you very hard, but they're also going to be your best friend too. I don't think you could go and eat lunch with Coach Saban if you wanted to, but with Coach DeBoer, you could be like, hey, let's go eat lunch together. So it's a new vibe, new feel to the whole staff, and they're still going to produce some great games and win some national titles.
So you go forward with the verbal commitment. Well, I believe the next day, Thursday. Take us through, telling Coach DeBoer, telling the coaching staff, how you did it and how they reacted.
Yes, sir. So I had a meeting with Coach DeBoer for about an hour before, just talking, getting to know him a little more, getting to know their brand of football, how they coach and stuff like that. And then I got to see it in practice after. They had loud music, good vibes. All the players were laughing. It was a cool vibe that they had, but they also put in some hard work. And then after practice, I was talking to Coach Womack, and he was like, what are you going to do, man? Like, no pressure. And then I was like, oh, I'm committed. Like, let's go. And then he started jumping up and down, got super excited. And then that was kind of the whole staff's reaction too. Coach Robinson was super excited. It made me feel real special.
How does it feel now to be officially committed, publicly committed, as of Sunday afternoon to the Alabama Crimson Tide? Luke Metz to Alabama. I mean, just how does that sound in and of itself?
Oh, it's awesome. Even just wearing this right now, it makes me excited. So it's like, if you wear any other logo, it's just a little bit different. So this just has a little bit different feel, a little more elite. It's just real exciting.
Take us through the last few weeks because, we did, I think, early February, we did this top group together. We wrote the story, top 6 great schools littered in that list, but that was before Bama offered, before Michigan offered, before Oklahoma offered, before several schools started pushing even more for you. How much of a whirlwind has your recruitment been? And I guess how relieved are you now that the fact that this part of it is over?
Oh, I'm relieved. It got crazy after that top 6. Some bigger schools started jumping in, and then it's like, do we even have a top 6 anymore? So it's kind of like after the top 6, we kind of went backwards. So it was just crazy, trying to narrow down, and then you got these big schools jumping in. So I'm super grateful and I'm super blessed for sure. And it worked out good in the end. So.
Yeah, a lot of great options in the end. We mentioned, Alabama, LSU, Oklahoma, a lot of SEC flavor, but then Michigan was kind of the odd man out. You did take that trip up to Ann Arbor. How important was the SEC pool for you in general, not just with Alabama, but just having so many SEC options as a kid growing up in the Peach State? How important was that for you when you made this decision?
It was big. Honestly, just always watching – like on TV or in person, always watching the big games in the Mercedes-Benz, like the Peach Bowl, all the teams that, the big SEC teams, played in. It's just a different brand of football in the SEC. Big Ten's great, but SEC is just growing up watching it. Growing up, is Alabama going to beat Georgia? Is Georgia going to beat Alabama? Those little rivalries going up, kind of shaped my mindset for me without even, thinking about it too much. I was like, SEC, oh, yeah, I'll play there. Yeah, let's do it. So I didn't have to think too much about it.
Yeah, so of course now you are an SEC football verbal commitment. And what's in the water in Tuscaloosa, man? All these linebackers are lining up to play for Alabama. I believe you're the third linebacker to commit just in the last week or so. You mentioned Coach Robinson earlier, the defensive staff as well. What is it about this group that is coming together and, frankly, making Alabama right now maybe the hottest recruiting program in the country?
Definitely. Just it's just a lot different than the old staff. It's a lot more defined. Still, the amount of detail is still there, but it's kind of a newer, younger approach that kind of Alabama's been needing for a little bit without knowingly been needing it, It's just a new outlook on things in the Alabama, the way they're using all their tools that Alabama is always going to have, the great foundation that they're always going to have, is going to produce some winning football. So I feel like it was hard not to jump in after I see my teammate Abdul commit. I was like, oh, I gotta make this happen right here. So it was exciting. We're gonna have a great team for sure.
Yeah, 3 different blue chip linebackers on board in the last several days for you guys at UA. But what do you bring specifically, Luke? What is your role now? Where do you feel like you fit into that group? And overall, once you make that move to Tuscaloosa for good?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. My role now is kind of being the field manager, honestly, like of the defense here in Mill Creek. I feel like I've got to be vocal. I'm tall, I'm physical, I'm lengthy, and I feel like a lot of lengthy, tall, physical linebackers in high school don't actually play a true linebacker spot. They're usually at the D end or
rushing the pass.
Or edge. It's rare to find a tall, lengthy linebacker that plays a true 20, 30 backer, like me. So it's rare to see, but I'm just super grateful. And Alabama's they want me to play the stinger position, which is their will position. I'm going to be versatile. They really like blitzing. So, I like that. I like reading guards, all that type of stuff. And I feel like one of my best traits is my instincts, with the defense they're running. I fit in extremely well. So, the guys that were playing there, I was like, man, let me put on 10 pounds and I'm going to look like that. So, it's exciting to see, and it's just a great fit.
Speaking of the fit, any message to Alabama fans? We talked about on the field, but any message for Crimson Tide fans or just Luke Metz fans that are excited to see you make this big decision?
Yes, sir. The work's not done here. It's just a verbal commitment. So, you got to keep working hard, keep doing all the good stuff, have a great senior season for this to all work out. So, let's just hope for continued success, and there will be continued success. So it's exciting to see, and we're definitely gonna make some things happen when 2025 after those 3 to 4 years. So it'll be exciting.
There he is, the newest Alabama Crimson Tide verbal commitment, and Rivals 4-star linebacker Luke Metz officially coming off the board.